Good afternoon. What a nice day. It's overcast, but it's warm. Birds are singing. Flowers are out. Some are done, some are still going. I had thoughts. I hear so many people talking about health issues and medicine and what to do if you are in a situation where you need your meds. And I say make sure that gets a little extra put away. Sometimes your doctor will give you what's called a vacation script, or some scripts are 3 months because you get them through the mail, and you can buy 3 months at a time. So I would check into that because it's always good. Some medicines are essential. If you're in a situation where your medicines are hard to get, or you need something to help tide you over, or you don't have meds, but you have a situation where it would have been nice to have something, but you don't. It's always good to stock up on stuff that is pretty stable and might help you in a pinch. And a lot of stuff will help you with your general health. And so what I did is I wrote down a few things because so many times I keep coming to these same options, and one of them you hear a lot about is electrolytes. And what are they? A lot of people, when they hear electrolytes, they think Gatorade, the stuff that was manufactured to be the same as what's in your sweat. But the reality of it is it's very, very tiny amounts of nutrients or minerals, mostly, some vitamins. But electrolytes are ionized calcium, potassium, magnesium, iron, that all make your body function. As much as we look like flesh and bones, it still takes little amounts of active minerals to keep us going. And these molecules work, they work at the molecular level to keep our body going. And there's some of them: potassium, calcium, iron. We need iron to oxygenate our blood and to make red blood cells. Calcium, we use that to contract your muscles, including your heart. And if you're not taking in calcium, either from food or from dairy, your body will take it. Especially if you're pregnant, your body will take it from your teeth, or any place where it thinks is not as important or whatever. It will take what it needs. And potassium is something our body needs. Comes from fruits, some vegetables. And potassium relaxes the body, but it also helps to move certain things through your body, and keeps a balance. Such as when you have sodium in your body, it needs so much, but potassium helps to get rid of the excess and can actually lower your blood pressure. So if you have any way of telling when your blood pressure is high or low, I usually get a little ticking in my inner ear, or my thumb will actually throb, and I can check my blood pressure, and sure enough, it's up. Or sometimes when I'm very calm and quiet or have less energy, it's usually quite low. So I keep aware of that because I'm always supplementing to help myself out, so I keep aware of these things for my health. Here's some other nutrients that are important in smaller amounts. Chromium helps with diabetes. Manganese helps with some of the effects of some of the medications you take. Plus, your body needs it in little amounts to keep healthy, especially your brain and nerve tissue. And magnesium. Sometimes magnesium and manganese get mixed up together, but magnesium is what your body uses with calcium to be able to absorb it and to help build bone. So those are important. And then we have vitamin D and K. Yes, your body makes D and K, and makes D on your body as you sweat in the sun, and K is made in your gut lining if it's healthy. And K and magnesium help with, and D help with building strong teeth before they develop and keeping them afterwards. So it's very important. And here's a little thing I wrote up. Calcium contracts muscles. If you don't get enough, where does it come from? It'll take it out of your bones. So if you're getting bone spurs, they used to tell you, don't eat so much calcium, but now they're finding out what happens is a bone spur is the body's reaction to not having enough calcium, and as you contract your muscles need those calcium ions, and it starts sucking it out of the bone, and it can actually make spur-like things on your body. So people who bowl or do tennis or repetitive actions sometimes, or a lot of walking, might end up with a spur on their heel or elbow, or even along their back, their spine. In certain instances, this is your body leaching out calcium. And they can melt away, but if they don't, they can become quite painful. So some people have them removed. If they come back, that's a clue that you're not getting the right nutrients into your body. So you need to get that into balance. And then sometimes we can't get it into balance because we have what's called leaky gut, or other conditions that come after leaky gut, which is Crohn's, MS, lupus. The ones on the bottom have other contributing factors, such as metabolic problems like fibromyalgia, Crohn's. What happens is the lining of your gut actually starts to break down and gets infected. And what happens is normal foods you'd eat that wouldn't bother you, you become a foreign substance coming in the wrong way into your body. So your body sends a signal to go and get that stuff because it's entering a part of your body it doesn't belong in. So healing leaky gut is important. Crohn's is where parts of the gut has gotten damaged to the point where it may have to be removed because of necrosis. And some people don't even know they have these conditions. And part of making MS and lupus worse is sometimes these. But you can have the other ones, not necessarily with leaky gut, but I started showing symptoms from my fibromyalgia and starting to get the butterfly thing on the face and burning sensation in my arms and legs. So wasn't sure, and then I started doing a protocol to heal my leaky gut, and the symptoms pulled back. And then I still had fibromyalgia, and I still do, but it's nothing like it used to be. And I'm not having Crohn's or anything like that. I'm much healthier. And part of that is because I take vitamin C. And I gradually work myself up from 60 milligrams to 100, and then from 100 to 500, and now I even take 1,000 a day. And you can buy them in 500 milligram tablets or 100, but if you've never used vitamin C regularly, I would say start with like 100 milligrams, especially if you're drinking juice or something like that. But it helps to strengthen tissue, stops your gums from bleeding, makes your tendons stronger, and if you're bruising a lot, you probably need some vitamin C. If not K, eat some leafy greens for that. But for the most part, vitamin C helps with all this stuff. So, very important. So, other things that are important: B complex. A lot of people don't get B's in their diet because the food has been overprocessed into flour, or cooking heat destroys it very easily. So especially if you're over 50, you've got to be taking B complex. And for some people, if you're in your 40s and you already got gray or white hair, it's because you don't have enough B vitamins. And you should get the 50 milligram complex, including PABA, P-A-B-A, it's called on the bottle. And it actually stands for para-amino benzoic acid, but that's not important. It'll say PABA on the bottle. And I've seen people eat a better diet and reverse their gray hair. I had a few gray hairs, but they went away. And some people their hair color will come back completely. But if you're completely white, I doubt that it would happen. But in most cases, if you use a nice B complex with as many B's as possible, including PABA, it'll work. It helped me. And some of the essential ones, there's many B's, but B3 niacin actually helps with cholesterol. Some people take extra niacin just by itself. My husband was able to get his cholesterol down to 140 just on niacin. But he didn't use slow niacin, which only works about half as well. He used straight niacin. And it'll give you like a warm, fuzzy feeling. So if you're going to do niacin by itself, other than the 50 milligram, start low and gradually work up. Because it'll give you that flush. But it's really good for getting rid of the stuff that clogs your arteries. And B6 and B12 help to get rid of homocysteine, which can contribute to congestive heart failure. I've seen people take B vitamins, 50 milligram complex, and all of a sudden their heart's doing better, if it's not too far damaged. So start eating better. Heart health, metabolites, all this stuff is in your body, needs B vitamins, even to process other foods and hormones. So if you're not getting B's by a supplement, you have to actively be eating a lot of greens that are probably not cooked, cleaned garden veggies, and grains, whole grains. And a lot of people don't get these things unless it's cooked, or they don't eat salads at all. They only eat meat and potatoes. So keep that in mind. Your health will improve. I've had people that took vitamins, and after a while they felt so much better, But then it seemed like they weren't doing anything, so they quit. And then they said 6 months, a year later, gosh, I should have never quit taking those vitamins. And but I didn't feel no different. And what happens is gradually you go back to the way you were, and you don't notice it until a lot later. But if you have a serious condition, these things will make a difference in your health. So keep that in mind. Other things that help is Q10. Our body makes that natural. It's coenzyme. That also helps you with muscle contraction, especially your heart. And if your heart seems kind of fluttery, sometimes it'll get it back on track. So you just have to take a chance and take your vitamins. These are very affordable now, whereas they used to be very expensive when they first came out. And you naturally make it, but after age 40, a lot of people have a problem. And a lot of heart doctors have recommended Q10 for people who have congestive heart failure or heart problems, and they have to take like a cholesterol med, because the cholesterol med strips the Q10 out of your system and can, over time, cause problems with your heart. So that's why they like you to take the Q10. And another thing is zinc. We find this in shampoo, diaper cream, different products, and even C with zinc for colds or whatever, because zinc does a lot to help the body and is also antibacterial. It's in denture cream, but if you're using a lot of denture cream, then you're going to get too much zinc. So some people, what they do is they switch off back and forth, because the zinc helps keep the bad taste out of their mouth. It helps with bacteria control. That's why they originally put it in the denture cream. So some people will use the zinc and then go back and not use it. Or they get the cornstarch powder to use with zinc in it, and it's good for body odor or rashes. And the diaper rash cream, which used to be in a huge tube at the dollar stores, now in a little tiny 2-ounce tube. It was very cheap in the baby aisle, whereas if you buy it in the regular part of the store as a like a disinfectant cream or whatever, or as a sunscreen, they have a thick cream which is mostly zinc oxide to put on your nose or whatever to keep the sunburn away. Zinc has a lot of things that it helps with. And a little in your vitamins too is good, because your body uses it to help build and keep itself healthy. Even if you have problems with red feet or whatever from diabetes, C with zinc tablets is really great for helping to keep them from getting really bad, maybe even losing a toe. So give it a try. And just like we need a healthy gut, healthy soil works the same way. Good bacteria in both gives us good nutrients up into the plants, and our healthy gut gives us good nutrients into our body the right way, and produces vitamin K if we let it. So these are just some thoughts I had today. Hopefully you guys will consider, if you haven't been using vitamins, get some, and with the minerals, especially zinc and magnesium, manganese, chromium. Some of you will say, oh, I'll just take a multivitamin, it'll cover everything. But the problem with multivitamin is you either don't get enough, or there's too much, and they put it in a big hard shell, and it can pass right through your body. So some of the important ones, it's better to even just get them separate. Get your vitamin C separate, your B vitamins separate. And of course they have a shelf life. They last for quite a while, but it's good to have them separately from just having a multivitamin. And that way you can control how much you're using, especially if you're using something like potassium. And I never take vitamins with herbal supplements mixed together, because you have no idea what's doing what. If you're into herbals, fine, but use them separately and one at a time. And sometimes keeping a little health notebook will help you to get insight. Even helped me with as much that I learned. I still could look back on it and see patterns and go, oh, well, I forgot to take it, or I took it and got better, or it seems to work pretty good. So take your vitamins and stock up on some minerals, because those last pretty much indefinitely unless they get too hot or wet or something like that. So a good thing to have, because if things get to the point where you need some nutrients, at least you got some of these, and they work good for your medicine cabinet as well as for just taking for your health. They're a great thing to have. So my mindful prep for today is get yourself some vitamins and minerals. And have a good day. Hope you're enjoying the outdoors too.